the Grinch's knee surgery, and the Hawk-Tuah girls Hawk-Tuah were competing for who had the most massive meme in 2024. But this wouldn't take away Diddy's baby oil from competing in the Brain Rot Championship. So what the Grinch did to get ahead of the competition might edge you. He did the unthinkable and called Freak Bob from Ohio's Skibidi jail and requested him to gather all of the bruz to help him goon the Brain Rot Championship. But what the Grinch didn't know is that there was a fourth massive competitor. This competitor would be able to rizz up any huzz. He could bulk up on Dow nuggets, mangoes, and still water on his winter arc, and his aura net worth would increase by $1 billion. This meme is so massive that it's been going since December 2023. Some could say this meme is dragged. Some could say this meme is getting old. But the honest truth is that the real best meme of 2024 is the Low Taper Fade by Tyler Ninja Blevins. If the Apple dog got a low taper fade, you might think that the Low Taper Fade meme would be even more massive. But that's not actually the truth. After the haircut, the Apple dog would gain $1 million worth of aura points, making it seem like the Low Taper Fade meme is still massive. But in reality, this would cause Venom to interfere with the Apple dog, causing Apple dog to get a knee surgery with Dr. Freak Bob, in the hope that he would gain more rizz for the huzz. But what Apple dog didn't know is that Dr. Freak Bob in reality was Dr. Hawk-Tuah, who wanted to become the most massive meme of 2024 by doing surgery on all of the bruz, including the YNs and the nonchalant dreadheads. This would finally lead to Ninja getting dreads and the nonchalant Ninja meme becoming the most massive meme in the world. And this is what would happen if the YN Grinch bulked up on Deo nuggets for his winter arc. It might seem safe to say that no amount of bruz with low taper fades could take away his aura, but that's not totally true. You see, when your average nonchalant dreadhead eats Dagadeo nuggets, he gains $1 million worth of aura points, giving him the ability to rizz up all of the huzz while phantom taxing still water from Gayat Senate. But when the YN Grinch eats Dagadao nuggets, it causes him to have to cancel his knee surgery, meaning that he wouldn't have the ability to work out for his winter arc. To this news, the Grinch would start crying still water tears and wouldn't be able to put down the cup, which would make the Grinch want to challenge Freak Bob in a boxing match, with John Pork as their mighty Skibidi judge. And this is what would happen. If the knee surgery is still a massive meme, you might think that the chill Grinch would be rizzing up the huzz with the bruz pretending to be a YN. But that's not actually the case. You see, if the Grinch finished his lunch lies, he would rizz up Kai Cenat's Gayat, causing I Show Speed to challenge Cristiano Ronaldo in a soccer 1 versus 1 match for $1 million. Cristiano Ronaldo would go on to win the match, but I Show Speed would still want to know who has the biggest winner arc between Messi and Ronaldo, making them 1 versus 1 for $10 million. In a Mr. Beast video, Ronaldo would start the challenge by phantom taxing Messi's still water. Those who know, to this, Messi would respond with, "What the Sigma Cristiano?" and would start his villain arc, making Messi win the $10 million. To this, Ishaspeed would finally admit that Messi is the real goat of soccer. And this is what would happen if the chill Grinch wanted to sip still water from his suitcase. You might think that he would have to phantom tax Freak Bob's lunchlies, but the reality is totally different. You see, usually when Freak Bob eats his lunchly, he's just a chill guy trying to bulk for his winter arc. But if the chill Grinch were to try and steal his lunchly, Freak Bob would gain a level 10 Gyat, and his aura would increase uncontrollably, which would lead to him eating infinite mangoes and rizzing up all of the Huzz in front of the Bruz. After seeing this, the Grinch would call John Pork for backup, which would lead to them both becoming YNs and eating double-chunk chocolate cookies to increase their knee surgery skills, which they would use on Freak Bob, causing him to lose the ability to work out and canceling his winter arc, which would make him very sad, causing Freak Bob to finish all of the Prime in the world. And this is what would happen. The chill Grinch once said to the YN Grinch, "Put the phone down, this is for my winter arc," which meant that he was planning on getting his knee surgery before the Riz competition between the Bruz and the Huzz. But what the Grinch didn't know is that his surgeon in reality was Quandale Dingle. After discovering this, the chill Grinch received a call from John Pork, who told him that Freak Bob and Patrick Guyot were in danger, and that Quandale Dingle had planned to hawk Tua on them and Mog all of the Brainrot verse. All of this just for him to gain full control of the world again. This led to the Grinch building up lots of Balkan rage and noradrenaline, and he bought a $1 million bottle of still water to charge him up to defeat Quandale Dingle, and saving all of the Brainrot verse from the Skibidi intentions that he had. And this explained why a knee surgery would create a massive riot amongst the chill Bruz with low taper fades, which would cause all of the Huzz to run towards the nonchalant Dreadheads. To this news, the YNs built up a massive amount of Balkan rage and decided to call Freak Bob, who gathered all of the Crash Out guys for a massive revenge on the nonchalant Dreadheads. But the only problem was that the Crash Out guys hadn't got their jaw surgery for looks maxing, meaning that if they were to challenge the nonchalant Dreadheads, they would have gotten brutally mogged. This would have led the Crash Out guys to become chill guys, and they would decide to bulk up on Giddigidigidigadeo nuggets and sip still water without the ability to put down the cup. But this would have meant that the YNs had no other choice but to riz the nonchalant Dreadheads Guyats, leading the YNs and the nonchalant Dreadheads to have a massive boxing match on the 17th of December 2024, and the winner of this fight would be "I like my suitcase," said the chill Grinch as he was rizzing up Kaisenat's Guyot while edging Freak Bob in Ohio. But the problem was that the chill Grinch could only go to Riz School after Phantom taxing John Pork's lunchly. But John Pork wasn't happy with this, causing him to goon the Huzz and ordering a double-chunk chocolate cookie with a massive load of still water. John bulked up to the point where his aura was increasing uncontrollably, which led to the low taper fade price inflating and becoming $2 million. To get the money for the massive haircut, John Pork decided to sell all of his Gidaj Dijdajadao nuggets to the YNs, who went on to devour the Gidaj Dijdajadao nuggets, which gave them Riz for the Huzz. The Gidaj Dijdajadao nuggets were so Gidaj Dijdajadao that the nuggets themselves started rizzing up the Huzz too. And this is what would happen if a knee surgery would prevent the YNs from mogging the nonchalant Dreadheads if they were rizzing up all of the Huzz. But it wouldn't be effective against the large group of Bruz with low taper fades. This is because the low taper fade is still a massive haircut, and it gives infinite aura to whoever gets one. So this would mean that even Freak Bob would book an appointment to get a low taper fade, and would be willing to pay the barber $1 million if he ate mangoes on his winter arc. To this, the barber responded with, what the Sigma, and started sipping on his still water. This led to Freak Bob freaking out and stacking up lunchlies for his winter arc, and he would need to get a jaw surgery to start his looks maxing journey, which would involve him paying John Pork, the fitness coach, $2 million per year, just for him to spend all that money on a Guyat rizzing course from the one and only chill Grinch. And this explained why If you gave the chill Grinch a spinal surgery for height maxing, you might think that he would gain 1 million aura points, but that's not actually the case. You see, most nonchalant dreadheads would rizz up all of the Huzz with a spinal surgery, since their Sigma presence would be able to mog all of the YNs in a way that is so massive. But if the chill Grinch got spinal surgery, it could easily be over for Bro, since the operation would prevent him from being able to work out, ruining his winter arc, and causing him to bulk up on Lunchleys and Stillwater. But the chill Grinch likes his cheese-drippy bruh, meaning that if John Pork didn't agree with him, he would steal his fine shites and edge his double-chunk chocolate cookie, leaving him with a low taper fade. But since the low taper fade meme is still massive, he gained aura and managed to rizz up the Huzz with the bruz and go to scuzz. And this is what would happen. A knee surgery would prevent Freak Bob from mogging Patrick Guyette if they were both on their winter arc. But it wouldn't be effective against the massive army of Peter Rizzings with low taper fades. This is because the price of a low taper fade is $1 million, hence why it is able to give anyone the ability to get infinite Huzz. So this would mean that even Diddy Crab would book an appointment to get a low taper fade and would offer the barber a job at the Krusty Tuah for $10 million per year, but only on the condition that the barber would cook Lunchleys and still water for the client's winter arc. To this, the barber responded with, "But you know what's crazy? It's that I am also on my winter arc," and started getting Balkan Rage. This caused him to become such a Sigma that he had so many fine sheets trying to rizz him up, trying to make him buy crypto meme coins by the name Crash Out Guy. And this is what if the chill Grinch likes his suitcase full of mangoes, you might think that he would be on his winter arc. But that's not actually the truth. Usually, if a YN eats mangoes, it means that he's full of Balkan Rage and noradrenaline. And since he would be bulking, he would devour the Sigma fruit with the help of a massive amount of still water and a couple of Hawk Tuahs, causing the nonchalant dreadhead to gain $1 million worth of aura points, which would rizz up all of the Huzz. But if the Grinch Phantom taxes mangoes, it's because he wants to stop being a chill guy and secretly wants to become a crash out guy, ruining all of the Bruzz's knee surgeries. This would lead the Bruzz to not be able to do the gritty and would ruin their winter arc, making them lose $10 million worth of aura points, which would cause the Crash Out Grinch to become the richest man in the history of the Brainrot verse. And this is what would happen. If you gave the chill Grinch a jaw surgery for looks maxing, you might think that he would mog all of the bruz. But that's not actually the case. Most YNs would rizz up all of the Guyats with a jaw surgery, since their stronger jaw would be able to chew the mangoes for their winter arc with more noradrenaline. But if the Grinch got jaw surgery, he could easily lose all of his aura points, causing the Huzz to get an ick that is so massive. But if Freak Bob got a spinal surgery for height maxing, he would instead gain 10,000 aura points, causing John Pork and the chill Grinch to start edging to him. This would lead Freak Bob to start bulking on Lunchley and Stillwater. But Freak Bob loves his cheese-drippy bruh, meaning that if the fine shits were to not agree with him, Freak Bob would tell them to simply put the fries in the bag and would book them a barber to get a low taper fade. And this is what would happen if you're ever in a queue for your knee surgery with Freak Bob and John Pork. A common theory is to make their cell phones ring to skip the line. However, you should never do this. This is because their ringtone will play Thick of It by KSI. If played, this song can cause all of the Huzz to start edging, and can even cause the Bruz to increase their noradrenaline and Balkan Rage. If you give the chill Grinch a low taper fade, you might think that his aura would increase, but that's not actually the case. Most people's Riz would increase with a low taper fade, since it's designed to make the Huzzgoon everywhere. But when the Grinch gets a low taper fade, he could easily start edging instead of gooning, putting the barber at serious risk. if the Grinch got forced to do his knee surgery, your first instinct might be to goon on him to free him, but that could cause him to get locked up in Skibidi jail, especially if John Pork noticed him. Instead, you should actually edge the Grinch slowly until he could free his knee. Then, you should untie his hands with your Balkan Rage. Afterwards, the Grinch should be able to free himself completely, but be prepared for him to riz you up in a way that is so massive. The Chill Grinch said, "Wake up!" It's the first knee surgery of the month, indicating that the Rizzler had to finally get his operation. But the Rizzler was too busy eating drippy cheese and sipping on still water for his winter arc, meaning that Freak Bob started edging his mango patties in order to help Kevin G get massive revenge on the Rizzler. What if the Chill Grinch challenged Cristiano Ronaldo for $1 million in a knee surgery challenge? Mr. Beast would be the host and would goon Cristiano Ronaldo to give the Grinch an advantage. But thanks to Cristiano Ronaldo's excessive aura points, he would be able to edge Mr. Beast off of him and would rizz up the Huzz that are watching the competition, making them all chant, "Singma, shingma boy, shingma boy." The Chill Grinch would call Big Justice for help, asking him to boom all over Ronaldo. But Big Justice didn't have his bruz Rizzler with him, meaning that the Grinch would lose the $1 million, causing him to start his winter arc. But have you ever asked yourself, the Chill Grinch was having knee surgery when suddenly Freak Bob called him. Freak Bob asked the Grinch to help him edge his mango in order to prepare himself for his winter arc. But since the Grinch had a massive group of Huzz that he was rizzing up next to him, he had to act nonchalant in front of the fine shits. So this meant that Freak Bob had to take Ozempic in order to edge his mango, resulting in him gooning in front of the bruz. The Chill Grinch once said, "Huzz go to college to get more knowledge. Bruz go to Mercury to get knee surgery," indicating that John Pork had to get his operation. But John Pork couldn't put down the cup sipping on promethazine, so a Schauspede started jelking him, causing him to goon everywhere, making a mess that was so massive. What if Darius started streaming and never put the fries in the bag? He would start off his first year, ending 2025 with 750,000 followers, rizzing up every viewer who edged and subbed to his channel. By the end of 2028, thanks to his knee surgery, he would reach the top 10 most subbed streamers on Twitch, making various collabs with Gyat Sanat, and would goon all over Jinxie, taking the #1 spot as the best player in Rainbow Zempic Siege. And on February 17th, 2030, brick by brick, he would become the world's skibidiest richest man, becoming the #1 icon for kids overtaking Diddy. What would happen if the Grinch stole the Thanksgiving turkey? First of all, a massive goon volcano would erupt behind the Chill Rizzler, but thanks to his incredible aura, he would manage to act nonchalant around the Huzz, rizzing them all up and making them edge to him. After that, Big Justice would go and hunt the Grinch, threatening him to have his knee surgery and announcing that he would drink all of his Diddy oil and still water if he didn't give back the turkey. And this was, what if the Rizzler decided to boom all over Big Justice? First of all, an earthquake would be triggered, causing the Grinch to fall down and break his knee, meaning that he would have to get a knee surgery, interrupting his winter arc and losing him 1,000 aura points. Then, the Rizzler would edge all of the Huzz, making them goon everywhere, causing an enormous Diddy party. So this was, the Grinch was being a chill guy when suddenly the Rizzler came searching for him, forcing him to have his knee surgery. After the knee surgery, he took some Ozempic, causing him to increase his aura and rizzing up every fine shit that was passing by. To congratulate himself, the Rizzler decided to eat a double chunk chocolate cookie, and he started sipping on still water and edging a mango in order to prepare himself for his winter arc. During his winter arc, the Rizzler decided to bulk up on Lunchley while listening to his favorite song, Thick of It by KSI. This gave him noradrenaline and bulkin rage, making him want to eat his cheese-drippy bruh. But on his bulking journey, he edged all of his still water. Those who know, meaning he had to sip on Prime.